Hey.
Hey y'all.
Hi.
So guys, listen, welcome to NightCap. We are 3 minutes late because of technology. But listen, we made it. You guys need to listen. You don't want to miss this. Like, share, tag someone. It's gonna be amazing. Welcome to NightCap.
Welcome. Dr. Sharice.
How was your week?
It's been a working week. I went to the chiropractor today, so I'm feeling great. 36 brings all kinds of adjustments. But he did tell me I was in the 13th percentile of Americans that have good alignment, so he didn't have to do much. One of my hips is it was like a half an inch off though.
Okay.
Well, I'll take the 13%.
Take the 13%, man of God. So listen, guys. Tonight we are talking. Oh, for those of you that are new to this, welcome to NightCap. My name is Sharice Nicole, and my co-host
is Akeem Walker.
We'll go this way. Akeem Walker, Dr. Akeem Walker.
Dr.
And
Sharice.
so we are millennials, and we are talking friendships. We have been talking friendship relationships for about 3 weeks now. Mm-hmm. And so today we are talking about platonic friendships. Joining us today is my best friend of many, many years, 10 plus years, Miss Chef T. Sparks, or Chef Thomas Brown.
Chef T. Sparks.
Chef T. Sparks. And we'll talk about us as we go on in the show. Ken, would you like to introduce your best?
Hey, listen, I am honored to have my very, very, very bestest friend of 15 plus years.
Whoa.
Dang, that's a long time. That's a long time. She cannot not be my friend because she knows where all of the bodies are buried and scattered. And so I'm grateful for her. She's actually in Singapore, so it is like 10:30 in the morning there. And so I'm glad that she got up early and is probably missing work to hang out with us. So Tanil McLeod is with us, and I'm grateful.
We are grateful. So listen, we're going to jump right into it because a lot of people believe that men and women cannot have platonic relationships. Mm. And so let's kill the myth and let's clarify some of the myth. Okay. Because while it can be true, there is some fallacy, about that myth, because I think understanding your assignment in that person's life helps you to understand where to place them and what boundaries and lines not to cross with that relationship. That's just me.
So how about you start off telling us how you and Thomas met, or how long, I know you said 10 plus years, but yeah.
Why are we doing that?
Because I think people got to understand. Let me say the reason why I ask is because people oftentimes say we use the word friends loosely, and for most people, they don't understand that longevity. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but in other times it does. Right.
Right.
I hear people say all the time, "Oh, I'm not friends with anybody I went to high school with. I'm grown. We don't talk." And I think that we are meant to have friends, and friends that matter. So you don't have to go into the whole story. I'm just saying whatever. Okay, let's jump right in since I got the cue. You don't want. We're not going there. So okay.
Well, no, I will. I'll okay. So Thomas and I met. Our friendship was birthed out of another mutual friendship. Mm-hmm. So my baby cousin, her mother, and Thomas were high school friends and are still friends. And Thomas and I met through Lex at a card game.
Mm-hmm. They were whipping tail too.
And it was me and my homegirl Vaughn, and we was spades, honey. We was running the table. We're known as the Golden Girls. So if y'all want to see us, you can come and see about us. Thank you.
Learn something new tonight. I didn't play spades. Learn something new.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the Golden Girls, don't get it twisted. So anyway, Thomas was there, and this was during the time I was still married. And I think I was eating chicken. And me and I think Thomas came. Did your girlfriend come with you, Thomas?
No.
At the time?
No.
No, okay. And so that's how we met. And then him and Lex got on the card table.
And I lost.
And they lost big time. And ever since then, me and Thomas have been friends.
Yep.
That's how we met.
It was probably because I was picking on her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she don't know how to eat chicken, huh?
Oh, no. She can eat some chicken.
Oh, okay. I'll let Tanel tell how no, she okay.
I think how we met, I'm going to get this out because normally you always tell this part. Our friendship bloomed in Akeem hitting my car. So
whoa.
You gave me the platform, so I'm going to say
I'm using my stress balls.
So we went to high school together, and our friendship just bloomed from there. But really what connected us was car paint and the fact of hiding it from our parents so they wouldn't kill us.
Wow.
Thomas, let me just say that the dents prove that she hit my car.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we were both just starting to drive, and we never told our parents. And that is that's how we became friends.
So basically Akeem hit your car. So we're just gonna say Akeem did it.
Well, stick together, like, wow.
It sounds about right. So we're just gonna go with it.
Okay, let's roll.
You don't know his side though.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
but it's two sides.
It's two sides, but what it sounds like, if the ticket was written, it sounds like Akeem would have got the ticket.
Was the ticket written?
No, we didn't.
No,
no.
What?
So that's what we are with.
So watching tonight, she probably just found out about this.
I have a question for the friends. Like, people would say, because you're really good friends, why are you guys not together? At what point did we realize that we were meant to be friends and nothing more?
Well, for me, I always just looked at you as the homegirl. Just, the goofy homegirl, kind of, have fun and stuff like that. I just, kept it low key. So we, everybody just be cool.
Right. Y'all thinking real hard.
No, I think the
you
same.
Said you asked the friends, so I didn't know who you.
Yeah.
I'm saying the friends, like everybody.
So for me, I think it's the same thing. Like we just became friends. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't that. It was just we just moved into that direction.
Yeah, we we were just friends. She was always the friend that if I liked somebody, if somebody got on my nerves, it was like, hey, what you think? And it really became like evident that we were going to be friends for like the rest of our lives. We are literally the male and female version of one another. We did make this pact in high school that if we were not married by the time we were 30, we would get married just because we knew each other so well. And then 30 came, we were like, wait a minute, this is like real close. Like this, we can't. And so let me say this, honestly, I can speak for myself. I hear people say, particularly when Love and Basketball came out, that, you know, you want to marry your best friend. I always would say, I don't want to marry my best friend because I need my best friend. Right. So if I married Tanel, who I got? Or she fucking my nerves?
Your best friend and your wife.
No. Yeah.
It don't work like that?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I mean, I come to you for all my advice when I have stuff going on.
You do, but we're not the opposite of each other.
We not, but
I mean, we're not the same. Like, we're the opposite.
Right.
No, there are a lot of ways Tanel and I are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, as far as that, we have more alike. That the differences that we have are very surface level.
Gotcha.
We have more that connects us than, and honestly, I think a friend of the opposite sex is more of an asset than what society has made to be a liability, because I tell anybody that I've ever dated, if anybody knows me and can help you out, it's her. So why would you, or I'm sorry, her. So why would you hate or not like someone? And there's nothing that Tanel and I have ever done that could come out that could make you ever say, "Oh, I knew it was something." Like,
yeah. No, I agree. And then even then, like the friendship that we have, he can tell me, yo, like you really tripping. Like, he's the voice of reason. So I'm calling to be like, you know what he did? And then he's like, you kind of did it. Right. So
but you have to have another sounding board, because everything is tripping for Joaquin.
No, it's not. Like, even then, even he has been that voice that has allowed me to navigate through tough decisions. And through that's the reason why he's my best friend.
That's good.
And saying she's not a pastor, but she knows. So it's interesting. This is how much. So I don't know to know this. My installation, I'm getting installed, Thomas, as the pastor of my church in a rural area where, and I'm this single pastor, right? And she's late. Services started. I'm on the front row, and you know I pastor Baptist church. So I got them long red pews. I mean, I'm sitting on this front row by myself. And Tanel comes in with this green dress. She is dressed to kill. And I see all of everybody that's in the pulpit looking. And I'm like, what's going on? Because I can't see behind me. She comes in, because this is our relationship, and sits right beside me. And the whole church is like, Papa, who this woman? But I say that to say she's always had, outside of my sister, right? She's always had that space, and everybody who knows me understands, from our parents to our high school friends to our adult friends, and I'll say this on record, she is indisposable. I have ended relationships because women didn't like her, because I can take you not liking somebody, but you're not going to give me the ultimatum of your best friend or me. I can find somebody to date.
Like, same here, the same. Like, I am upfront. I have a male best friend. And if you have a problem with that, you need to know that, like, you need to go. Like, it's not a negotiable.
Yeah. I think it's the same with me and Tony, but I haven't had a situation where it was like I think we just said up front, listen, this is my brother. It is what it is.
Right.
Thomas, have you had any situation like that with other females?
No, not yet.
Dang, I
No
guess just
problem.
me
But I
today.
think it's like a respect thing.
Yeah, and like with anybody I've ever been with, I've always said, "Hey, my best friend is a woman. This what it is. Either take it or leave it."
Mm.
And I think that, and two, I think as women, Nell, and you could attest to this too, understanding boundaries
Right.
when your best friend is in a relationship, like Thomas is in a relationship with Queen B, well, Queen Brittany, that's what we call Queen B, but Queen Brittany, and she's amazing, right? But I still have to, regardless of all that, I have to respect my boundaries. I have to respect their space.
Right.
So like, she's a chef, he's a chef. And when they do things together or he's with her, I have to like, I send them hey, are you free? Can you talk? Whatever. Because I understand that I understand her position in his heart. He loves me, but he loves her. And she can do for him things I can't. And so I think understanding that boundary as women and just saying, okay, she knows I'm there, but I'm not intruding. And then him, I guess for the men, it's the same. I guess them understanding, okay, when to balance the role. And I think that's probably where relationships become, when people have best friends of the opposite sex, I think that's where relationships kind of end because there's no boundary that's identified or expectation. And sometimes women can go overboard, and then sometimes men are like underboard. They don't set the standard, so it gets kind of hazy and muddy.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. Well, for me, it was kind of like my girlfriend. She has a male best friend as well. So for me, it was kind of different. It's like at first I was like, wait a minute, you can't have no male best friend. And then, but I had to check myself because my best friend is a woman. So, I had to learn to like, all right, the same thing that I expect from her about, Sharice, I have to do the same thing as well. And it works out even better that way because I'm like, wow, I talked to him, she talked to her, and everything good.
Yeah.
So, boundaries are necessary, but I think even in the presence of boundaries, if the person that any of us are with are insecure, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
So, I remember, so Tanel and I, particularly when she lived in the States, we always celebrated like exchanging Christmas gifts. And I remember this one, and our Christmas gifts are, to some people, may seem extravagant, but we set a price and we exchanged gifts. I never forget, I was dating this young lady, and Tanel wanted, was it a Movado? That was it a Movado watch?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, she wanted a Movado watch. Now, whatever. So she wanted a Movado watch, and the young lady I was dating. Now, here's what's crazy. Tanel wasn't married then. No. So, so her boyfriend is there. So it's not like I'm giving some crazy gift. I dropped the gift off, we're leaving, and the girl is like, oh, y'all should open each other's gifts. Now, I'm naive, Thomas, right? So I don't understand. I don't know that this is a bait test. Like, yo, I want to see what y'all got each other. I'm like, oh, no, we can wait. We good. She was like, no, open it. So Tanel opens her gift, and it was like doomsday. And I think that year, Tanel brought me an iPad mini, I think, and the Apple TV.
It was like this, or a scriber thing for your sermon.
Oh, yeah. It was a pen, the live strap pen, right?
Yeah, but it was a whole pack. Either way, yeah, something similar.
And she, now mind you, I had taken great care of the young lady I was dating at the time. She lost it. like it was a long ride.
Ah.
But my stance was, why would I not buy my best friend a gift? And this is what we do. We've done this when we were broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, for years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it. And if you look at the financial part of it, what I got the girl I was dating trumped the price of what well, maybe not, but it was because that's what Tanel asked for. What I'm saying is, either way, I didn't feel bad about it. And I was just like, you just got to get over it. Like, this is what we do. So I'm saying, even with boundaries, Sharice, if a person is insecure or they have had bad experiences, you can't fight insecurity.
I don't think that you can fight insecurity, but I do think that your actions play a part in it. And I think that's where you just kind of have to understand who you're with. And I think that's where that's where in relationship, that's where you draw the line and in the sand, and you say, hey, there's no limit that I'll go for this person, and are you okay with that? And that person, has to be honest with themselves to say, I can or I cannot. I think oftentimes that doesn't happen when platonic relationships are involved. People will say, oh yeah, I can handle it. And then when, like you said, maybe her gift was not as expensive as nails, which caused her to feel some kind of way. Maybe she thought she could handle it, and then when she saw the material part, she couldn't. I just don't think people are honest when you say, hey, I have a male best friend. Hey, I have a female best friend. Oh, I'm okay with that. Right. And then when they really see the interaction of the relationship, it causes some form of insecurity. Either A, because that you all's relationship, you all don't interact the same way, you and the person that you're dating does not interact the same way you and your best friend does. And or two, there are some things that's happening that makes the person feel uncomfortable, whether it's in their head or not. But I think it's just a part of being mature, and you saying that yes, you can handle it, or no, you can't. But people don't do that.
Yeah, so for me, when I describe Akeem and our relationship, I give them examples. Like, this is what we like to do. We like to hang out. We like to go on trips. Just hang out. Like, there's certain things that we like to do. So we just bring, that is the conversation that I'm like, hey, I'm giving you these examples. So if these scenarios, do they work for you? And you're right. Like, sometimes they say, yeah, I'm okay with it. And then they, you do it and they're like, well, not right. Like, that's.
I have an ex-girlfriend right now that every time I post this picture, Tanel took me to Florida for was it 25, maybe 25th birthday?
Yeah.
We literally jumped up and went to Orlando for a day and a half. Every time I post it, I'm talking about, I'm 36 now. Every time I post that picture of us holding the alligator, you know how you go on the speedboat and
the swamp tour thing. Yeah.
That girl will not comment on any other picture. Every time I post that picture, it's like all over. Because to her point, we're not spending money on 2 hotel rooms. We get separate beds. Like, it's just not that kind of like. Because again, society has made it so difficult for people to be friends. And my issue is this. If I'm dating Sharice, I don't care whether you trust Tanel or not. To say that I can't be friends with her or whatever says that you don't trust me. That's even more problematic, right? But so let's dig a little deeper. Thomas, how have you dealt with, if there's ever been a case where you're the male best friend, you're the voice of reason, but Sharice is involved with somebody that you absolutely know as a man, not as a hater, but as a brother, this ain't it. And you got to deal with, you the best friend, so you're going to get it, and you like, I told you so. Or You should have listened
Well,
to me.
I don't give it a. I don't say I told you so, but most of the time, off rip, I don't like none of them. Soon as she explains, say, give me the descriptions, I be like, yeah, nah, I don't think that's gonna work. But that's just being me as a big brother. And I know her as a woman. You know, I can say like I know what she's worth and what she deserves. So once she tell me the description, and I'm like, it just don't. I go off the vibe. If the vibe don't feel right, don't move on it. Now I may tell in the beginning, but sometimes I just let it play out.
Yeah, we've had lots of those late night conversations, tears, and I don't understand, and him listening, and then me saying, "You're not saying anything," and then he's like, "Well, I'm just listening," or encouraging me. Sometimes I think as women, things happen. You have that male best friend that kind of affirms you. Sometimes when like sometimes you kind of lose sight of who you are, not necessarily who you are, but who you are. you start tripping. And so he's that sounding board. Now, I don't really have a lot of examples of him doing that with me. Because Thomas is the kind of person, like he said, he go off the vibe. So if he feel the vibe is not right, I don't have to say cut her loose. She already cut. So it's kind of like, well, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, nah. I don't get a chance to have those moments. And,
Right.
and even with my current sister-in-law, really, like, I don't really have a lot of those moments. If he has a situation, it's minor, like, bro, get over it. And it's always kind of me, it's always me kind of having her back. And because I know my best friend. So I know he could be over the top, he could be, but it's very rare. Like I've never really had, I don't know. Thomas is that guy. If it ain't,
It's been one. It's been one.
Oh, it has been. Oh,
it's been one. It's been one.
Yeah, it's been one. It's been one. It's been one. Yeah, she was something.
Oh, next subject.
Yeah, she was something. Okay, anyway. But yeah, but what about you, Nell? Can you?
Yeah, so for Akeem, I tell him like, hey, what do you think about this? Right. And he might be like, nah, but then I'm like, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to go ahead and go through it. And as I am going through the process of it, he is then like, okay, I see that you have to go through it, even though I know it's not good. And I'm going to tell you as your best friend to leave, but I'm going to tell you also as your best friend, I'm going to support you in this decision. So it's the, or sometimes you just like, why are you still doing that? Like you should not be doing that no longer. And so so for him, I believe sometimes they work themselves out. Like as soon as they hear about me and our relationship, I think that it just kind of weed themselves out without me saying, nah, I don't think that that's good, or yeah, no, I don't think that's good. Now the ones that he supported, I definitely support, and I will give advice in whatever direction that he wants to go in.
I think that for women, and I don't know about men, when we hear that our dude has a best friend that's a woman, I think competition comes to mind.
Not for me.
So for a lot of women, it does, and you'll hear them say, I'm not going to compete.
You can't.
And some women will say, I'm not going to compete. I already have to compete with you and your mother. I already have to compete if he has kids, especially daughters. I have to compete with you and your daughters, and now I have to compete with a best friend. You have a lot of women that think like that.
But I tell you all the time, I heard that, and my response to that is you can't. You cannot compete with 10 years with you and Thomas and 15 plus years with Tanel and I. There is no competition. So get that out, like, and that's what is. And I'm not saying it in a derogatory way. I'm just saying you cannot compete. It's no comparison, right? You can be a close friend, the person that I'm dating. I can love you. You can be a close friend. You can be a best friend. But Tanel is my, and here's the other part. Let's even move from relationship. Tanel has other best friends. Now, I'm the best friend that she got, but she has other best friends. Like I remember, I don't know what birthday it was, but we were all in DC. And it was one of the couple of times where all of her best friends were together, and we were like, but now here's what's crazy. This was the first time, because of proximity, she had a male best friend who also was an Omega, And so we're all at the table ordering drinks, and I'm like, she wants this, and he's like, I'll order this. And I'm like, no, wait a minute, I'm not about to come. Now, we're not doing this. Now, I competing with your boyfriend is one thing. I'm not competing with another male best. But it was comical, but we also give space for there to be, because we have other relationships, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. And that's not a bad. I've never seen my space in her life as competition with anybody else, whether it's boyfriend or a male best friend, co-worker. But also we have healthy boundaries because we understand. And I say this to every guy that I've ever met, not that there's been a lot. I'm saying, I am your lifeline. So why kill me when I'm gonna give you the cheat codes. But you gotta know.
But I mean,
at a certain part of the conversation, I'm always gonna ride with her. Then let's understand that. I'm gonna give you the cheat code.
I was gonna say, but your loyalty is still to her. Well, so you're not really giving the G code.
What I'm saying is,
you're giving the B code.
I'm gonna help them out.
Right. I mean, you're gonna give them advice. Yeah, you're gonna give them advice on, hey, I think you should really move like this way. Hey, do you? But I think that, you came to me. If you come to me, I'm going to help you as best as I can. But of course, my loyalty rides with him. But I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
So,
what is the longest break that you and Thomas have had?
When I got real mad at Thomas, and I did not want to talk to Thomas, I got I'm going to say it, I was pissed.
Thomas, it probably was something that small, too. She probably was all exaggerating. Go ahead.
And Thomas, friend.
What I did?
Thomas, oh my Lord, we got into it, and it was something I don't know. Like we were both in different spaces. Like it was a challenging time for the both of us, and I'll never forget. Now this was before my friend became a big major chef, like and traveling all over, cooking for everybody all over the U.S. And this was before. Where were you? You had texted me. Something had happened, and he needed something for an Uber. And so he called me. I said, "What's up, Thomas?" He was like, "Why when I talk to you, I always say what's up?" And we got into a heated argument. It was so small. I was like, "What you mean?" And he was like, "That ain't what I meant. That ain't what I meant." So that was one. And we took a break. Then we went, something else happened. I don't know. It's always small.
It's never major.
It's never major. And this is Thomas. He'll be like, "Reese, man, why you? It's me."
Thank you for owning that.
Because Thomas is laid back, but he too laid back. So stuff that shouldn't matter gets discarded because Thomas is a I don't care, like, F it kind of person. And I'm like, no, it's not F it. It matters. And he's like, but Reese, it was this, and it you know. And so we have those moments, but it balanced because he's never raised his voice. He raised his voice at me one time. I think I had really made him mad, and I was like, oh crap. But he's never raised his voice. He always apologized, and then I have to come back crying. It's like, we didn't have to apologize. I was, you know. He's like, I get it. He's that guy, like literally a brother to a sister, like. And I spaz. It's me.
It is. It's really her because
it's me. Because I spaz.
It's not that I have the effort attitude. It's just I don't let stuff really bother me and get to me because it's like, all right, this happened 20 minutes ago. I can't go back and really change it. So either we gonna patch this up right here and move on, you know, I'll just wait till you get over. And that's pretty much me.
And he wait until I get over it, and I'm talking, and then, you know, I'm like, I ain't calling him. And then I don't call, and then he'll text me, he'll be like, you still my sister, I love you. You know, then I have to break down. But that's only been once.
Once in 10 years, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm. That's only been
Yeah,
once.
we don't argue. We laugh a lot.
We do not argue. We'll talk, and I'll cry. And then he'll be like, all right, you know. But we don't argue. We argue one time. Well, I tell you, one time in 10 years, Thomas raised his voice at me, and I knew I was in trouble.
And I can't even remember that one.
It was like I was on the phone and I was talking to him. I mean, I couldn't even hear myself. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. And that's when I was like, I just stopped talking and I listened to him, and I was like, well, I'm done. And that was it. So it's been a pleasurable, like, Thomas' relationship and I is very unique. Every time we've needed each other, we've been there. And the crazy part about it is there have been some very major times in my life, and each time I have two older brothers, and this is not to discredit my brothers because I love them. But where they were in their lives at that time, they could not assist me. And so I believe that God puts a ram in the bush or gives you a God family. It may not be blood, but it's a God family. And from when I needed an attorney, we worked hard. From when I graduated from pharmacy school, we worked hard and we paid for the party. We just partnered together. We've always come together. When Thomas was in between, he was waiting on his car and doing this. I would get up late in the middle of the night and drive way across town and pick him up and make sure it was just, we just always been there to no end. Whatever you need, whatever it is, I got it. And if I don't, we're going to make a way. And if we got to work two jobs, if we got to put our coins together, it's just always been that way. So
It's been a partnership.
It's been a partnership.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the same, right, to them?
Sure.
No, it's not. No, we've had. So let me say this. Tanel is very extra, right? So I cannot talk to Tanel for like a week. Or no, I can talk to her tonight. And then Saturday is going to be, you don't care about me.
Sus, don't feel like that.
No, not. No. Now that's too dramatic. Not like that. Maybe the next week, and I'm just like, and I call.
So, but here's the thing: it's a 12-hour difference. So I'm in meet now. Let me say this: she is, and I tell her this all the time. There are times, Thomas, you can identify that she reminds me that she's still a woman, right? Like I say all the time. She reminds me. You are supposed to be the one woman in my life that if I tell you I'm gonna call you back, you know that's not happening. Why are we still going through this in year 18? Like,
right.
But she calls, I'm in staff meetings because it's a 12-hour difference, or I'm asleep and then she get mad because I'm asleep, I can't
I
answer.
don't. Not mad is a strong word, sir.
She gets bothered.
Just a little bothered.
Right.
But
This Negro ain't answering my call.
right. And so then I get a little nasty gram, and then like the other day she texts like, it's been 5 months since we talked. I'm like, she really almost, I was like, 5 months. Like I know it's been like a while, but I think the essence is we know each other so much that I know when she's calling just to call, and I know when it's like it's time to pay attention.
Right.
And let me say this, Tanel, and Tanel is always, I'm a pastor and I work, I teach part-time, so Tanel has always made more money than I have. But money has never been an issue. Education has never been an issue. I mean, we made it work. I tell people all the time, I am an alpha today because Tanel McLeod helped me become an alpha. Honestly, when I got accepted, I had to pay my initiation fee quicker than what I thought, and she was like, "I got it. Here's the card. Put it up there." But now, sister girl didn't let me forget when that credit card payment was coming. Like she was like, "Hey, drop."
Well, I ain't gonna forget that now.
No, I was like, "Damn, okay." But honestly,
You pay your light bill, right? They come up. You pay that on time.
but
Amen, God.
from weddings to funerals to family occasions to just life moments, major moments, and just every day. Like I could not imagine life without her. Like I don't know, and that's not to slight any other friends that I have, but even she knows every friend. So my preacher friends know, I don't know, like she's just a part of life and I don't know, again, why society has, and I understand people use the word best friend for somebody that they either dated or screwed and they still got other stuff going on. But that's just not the case. I tell you all the time, if you read our text message, it ain't gonna be nothing funny. You might feel how I feel about you. Like you might discover that. You're feeling like they hurt, but not because there's some other stuff going on.
Right. So I think it's important. I hope this podcast is helping people because you will hear women say, I cannot be in a relationship with a man that has a female best friend. You'll hear men say that too. And hopefully the interaction and the stories that we're telling you all will help you understand the dynamic between the man and a woman in that friendship. It truly is a brother-sister type of relationship. And unfortunately, what's scary, I think, is that most people don't see a healthy interaction between a blood brother and a blood sister. So when it's not a blood brother and a blood sister, and they're of opposite sex, you automatically think there's nothing keeping you from going the extra mile, from sleeping with them, from being with them. And truly it is. And it's the bond that keeps you from going further. Like, you don't want to lose that. And for me, like I said, I have 2 older brothers, but I know what a brother is because of Thomas. And when we talk about pharmacy school, when you say that you are an alpha because Tanel helped, if my friend had not found this criminal law attorney, had nothing to do with family, and had not worked and helped me come up with the money for that lawyer for me to get to Tallahassee, I would not be there.
So now you took an interesting turn, and I think that's important. So I have a younger sister. I have other sisters that I was raised with in the same home with my sister, who's also one of my best friends. And Tanel has a younger brother. Now, what's interesting was seeing the 2 of them, Tanel having to deal with my younger sister when she was very young, because trying to explain to a younger sister that you got a female best friend, like that's what she was there for. And then Tanel's brother and I had to grow to where her brother and I are cool. My sister asked about Tanel, vice versa. But for a while, it was touch and go because we had healthy relationships with our sibling. And it was like, yeah, like, what you need her for? And her brother was like, he ain't part of our family. But, so much so, Tanel's mother came to church on Mother's Day. I gave her flowers. I gave all the mothers a flower at my church, but I gave her mother flowers as well. She didn't even know that. I mean, that's just how we have flowed throughout the years. And I think, to your point, people don't see healthy enough relationships. But I think I want to caution those people that are watching. You created. Like, I knew early on that I needed somebody. One, again, my sister is 6 years younger than I am, right? So I needed someone that was a peer that could be trusted with me. And Tanel knows me to say, so before this whole sharing location, people share location on iPhones now. But Tanel and I would not go on a date without saying, this is the address, this is the license plate number, I should be home by such and such time. That's how we've always flowed. And so we were able to check each other, like, okay, you didn't call me until such and such time. So, we know each other. She knows the tone of my voice. If I'm out, hey, like, I know hers. I can tell when she's bothered and don't want to really burden me, when she's on the brink of tears. Likewise, I mean, we just have that. And I think people have to honor that and respect it, even though they don't understand it.
Very true. So, I mean, thank you, is it Torian? Thank you. It is a very good discussion. And I think we don't talk about this enough. I think we don't talk about this topic and how good relationships, someone that is potentially good for you, people will walk away because they can't deal with the dynamic of them having a female or male best friend. But check this out, sis. If in some cases, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, if he treats her well, it may be a depiction of how well he'll treat you. So sometimes you have to think about that too. You have to look at the parallel between the relationship. Now, he may treat her well and treat you. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a man. But it could be some correlation between that. So maybe the next time you meet a guy and he has a female best friend, maybe ask to meet her. Maybe, take the extra mile to kind of find out more about her before you, evacuate a situation that could potentially be a relationship that could potentially be very beneficial and could last.
So here's an interesting question. Let's say I'm interested in Sharice and Thomas says absolutely no. Would you tell me that Thomas don't like me?
Heck no. I never put anything that me and Thomas share.
Right.
It don't, if he shares something with me about his, I don't really hear anything about Brittany, but the other ones, it never was if whatever I said, Thomas would go back and say, well, my best friend don't like you. Or if Thomas have straight out said some stuff and I can't repeat it.
Right.
But the curse words that he put together to describe some of these guys, I never went back and say, well, my best friend said my best friend don't like you, because that causes tension. Right. So, and men, then he'll meet Thomas and Thomas,
I gotta come see him.
Yeah. He got to size of my best friend, and my best friend, I already know what he about, so I'm just like, you got to be wrong. Yeah. So no, I don't think that's necessary. Even with my best friend, like Chantel, I'll never tell a guy Chantel said, and Chantel has a lot to say.
We know.
I wouldn't want to put my friendship at risk,
it's not worth it.
Why am I going to say, well, that Akeem said this? Why would I do that?
But people will do it to leverage, and to make the other person feel bad, to say, well, I have somebody on my side that agree that your behavior is X, Y, and Z, in order to get the person to adjust or change whatever idea that person should have of them. So it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so people do it.
And at the same time, anything that me and Sharice talk about, that's between us.
Right.
It ain't. We know it ain't. It's gonna always go in this little can. We gonna lock it up, and it's gonna stay there. Like, there's no need to go back and damage what you got over here and over here, because that's what's gonna end up happening.
And I think that's important. So I think what disturbs me is when I meet people and you're comfortable with sharing very personal information about your best friends. Surface stuff, I get it. If you're talking about their personalities, some of their struggles, okay, whatever. But when you go really deep, it's alarming to me. So I think understanding that, if that bothers me, I think, having that friend that I can just, I want to be able to share, well, which I do. I mean, I share everything.
She does.
Be able to share and not worry about it. I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. I don't have to worry about pillow talk between him and Queen Bee.
Right.
And Thomas not that type of person, so he's not gonna spend his time talking about me. He gonna be trying to do what he's trying to do with his woman, not worried about me. So I mean, that kind of things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with it. I think tonight has been a very good conversation because, again, I think we don't see a lot of models, healthy models rather, without all the drama, and I think it can exist. I mean, again, I say any man that has a great female best friend, to your point earlier, is going to have a up on how to treat a woman, because women stick together anyway, right? So even if Tanel may not be for a particular female, she does understand it. If I'm happy, she's gonna rock with it, and she's not gonna let me disrespect or mistreat someone because she's still a woman at the end of the day, even though she's my best friend, and vice versa. I'm gonna say, well, look, why are you calling me asking about a gift for him? I don't know, but don't do that. Like, get this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if you with somebody, you might as well, treat them the best. But I mean, there are two people on my insurance policies: my sister and Tanel. I mean, I don't want to outlive her because I don't want to live like my best friend, but I hope I do get to at least live a day longer, but I mean, that's how close we are. Like, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
And I think that's important. So, listen, guys, this whole friendship, friends, how many of us have them? It continues. Okay, we are rocking with this for the rest of the month. Join us next Wednesday. We're gonna continue and have a part 3, and then next month we don't know what we're gonna do, but we're going to figure it out, and we're gonna come back. And if you guys have a topic that you would like for us to discuss, drop it in the comments. This is on our church platform, my church platform, Akeem's friend, my bishop platform that he is my co-host on. But you can DM your ideas, and it's monitored by the people that produce this show. And we'll be more than happy to have some discussions about those topics the godly way, because at the end of the day, all of us love the Lord, but these are topics that people don't really want to address, and society don't address them because they've already boxed them in. We already have an idea of what they are. But just killing that myth, and I hope it did.
Yeah, Jesus had a female best friend. He did. The Bible, he had Mary and Martha. And the Bible talks about he will always go to their house. I'm a pastor. You said it's biblical. I won't say nothing about it, but you said it. If you read the Bible, remember when Lazarus died and the people was like, yo, why you ain't here? You our friend. We didn't cook for you. You didn't sleep in our bed. They were close friends. And I think we cannot look at Jesus so high that we don't look at that he had earthly friends that were not all males. Yeah, he had friends. Like, Platonic friends. It's okay. Like, get out of your insecurities, guys and females, that your spouse, your mate, cannot have a friend of the opposite sex. That's shallow. We grown.
Guys, do you guys have anything you would like to say to the audience about platonic friendships?
I think for me, I just want to share is that having that conversation with that person that you're with, be open and honest, and explore that. Be, like I said, be open and honest about that relationship and seeing what bothers you, and maybe that's something that you can work through. And it could be, they could provide clarity on that platonic relationship.
I say just, be open and be, like she say, be open and upfront and honest about it in the beginning. And, once you set, everything on the table, if it lines up well, then yeah, we keep going with it. If it don't, move on.
That's going to be his answer for everything.
And the beat goes on.
Consistency.
Yeah. His answer is very consistent. If it line up, go. If it don't, move on. Well, Thomas is not that easy, but that's me. Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Sorry for being late. We did have some technical difficulties, so hopefully this live, the streaming was well. And real quick, Pastor Carter said he has a female best friend, and him and his female best friend and his wife are really good friends.
Yeah, in a perfect world. That's the goal. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Janelle is my friend. I mean, they could be close friends.
You're selfish.
Call it what you want to call it. I just need whoever I'm dating to know, listen, I want y'all to be friends, right? But don't ever forget, her loyalty and faithfulness lies with, and the same way with Thomas. I don't care how close he is with a guy you're dating. At the end of the day, he's your friend.
Right.
And if I don't, he's gonna be like, all right, well,
it was good knowing you.
I didn't line up, so
like dang. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys, thank you so.
My best friend, this is her first ever time being on a live, and she's 12 hours away. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you.
Oh, friend. Thank you, friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
You are awesome. All y'all rock. Thomas, I love you.
All the time. Ain't nothing but love this way.
Just take that San Francisco stuff off that wall, man.
Hey, man, listen. It's by default. I was born in 1980, bro. Jaguars went around. Loyalty. Listen, loyalty. Loyalty.
That's right. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We know a lot of y'all watching this versus that's going on. So tag your friend, share this. Make sure you guys come back and rewatch it. And we will continue with part 3 next week at 9:30, guys. Until then, this has been NightCap. Bye.
Peace.